Let's see what
Stick
I've
it
got
on.
here. That's not us. But who is that?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
It just says school day. Oh, wait on the back. James Dean Stott.
Okay, that's one of Mary Nell's cousins.
Okay.
He wasn't with us in Korea.
Okay.
Let's see now. There's me when we went in.
That's a good
Kids, we were
picture.
kids. I was 17.
Oh
when
my
we-
goodness.
But I was, yeah. Ernest.
What year was that then?
I went in 48.
48. Wow.
My birthday, March 24th, 1948, and was discharged 52 on my birthday.
Okay.
951 for 2. Yeah, I got an extra year because I was in Korea when my enlistment was up.
Right.
They said, son, we're not going to send you home and get discharged. We're going to give you an extra year. And they did. They did. Okay.
Is it started in 49?
Well, no. Let's see. June the 25th, 1950 was when Korea started.
That's right.
That's when the North Koreans invaded South Korea. We had a few folks over there, a few troops that were occupational forces. In the 100 years before, Japan had conquered Korea, and they were sort of enslaved, and the Japanese sent female teachers over to teach the Korean children. They taught them in Japanese. The kids would go home and speak their Korean. They had to speak Japanese in school, so they were bilingual. Those kids, for the past 50 years or so, could speak Japanese and Korean. Japanese was easier for us to learn than the Korean. So we would say, "Annyeong hasamnika." Good morning, how are you? No, it meant that, but it said, how did you sleep last night? Annyeong hasamnika.
Okay.
Okay, and now a lot of things I can't tell you,
Hey.
that we said. But
You tell me anything that you want to, because
okay. All
yeah,
right.
I just got finished looking at homicide
Well,
cases last week, so it's not fun.
Let's see.
If I hadn't said
Cutter,
it,
get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Iriwa, come here. Iriwa. And
Okay.
if you want to be polite about it, Oseo. Iriwa Oseo. You say that to an officer or something. Iriwa Oseo, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was almost like please or.
Well, let's see. This is what they did if they wanted you to come here. Iriwa. Cutter was cutter. Get out of here. Get out of here. And a lot of other things I can't tell you. But let me see now what we got here. This was in the summertime, obviously. The tent sides are raised up. That's probably some trucks down there, and that's the only trees I ever saw in Korea. You know, it'd been there for several centuries, and the trees had been taken down and burned for firewood and everything else. So
I can see in the background how sparse.
those trees were sacred, punishable by death if you chopped on them or whatever.
Wow.
So we didn't bother them. The Koreans surely didn't bother them because they're the ones that got killed.
Wow.
And
Now, where did you guys? Where did y'all do your
okay,
training
from
before?
here we went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Okay.
We went in 6x6 trucks.
Okay.
Can you imagine that? About 200 and something miles in the back of a truck.
And they probably put as many of you as they could in each one, too.
Well, we had been to camp that way 2 years earlier down to Fort Benning, Georgia. And that was even before this picture was taken. We were in high school then, Ernest and I were, but we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. They checked us out in M1 Garand rifles and all kinds of things like that. Took us out on night things and had us go across a lake at night in these little boats, no lights, and take a fortress or whatever was there, and we enjoyed that.
Were y'all, did they train y'all for, I don't know, about 2 weeks or?
2 weeks, yes.
Okay.
2 weeks is always in the summer. You can imagine how hot it was in Fort Benning, Georgia in August.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we died. I mean, rifle range, the sweat was just pouring off all of us. We had to drink water. But we got through.
Now, was Pops much of a shot then? Because Dad said that later in life he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn a lot of times.
He did all right. All of us
did
qualified.
Good.
That means we had to get a certain amount of, I forget what it is now, but all of us qualified. And 1 or 2 had to go back and qualify because they didn't do too well.
Right.
They had to go back another day, with another group and qualify. I can't tell what these are. We've seen that one, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is an area where we had Quonset huts. You know what Quonset huts are?
No.
Okay, this is the frame, and they had corrugated steel, like roofing, over those. And that was left by the occupational forces. The Koreans took the aluminum or steel off and used it for building their houses. They didn't need those big frames, but they stole it.
So this is what you all found when you got there, what was left from the occupational forces?
Yes, that was from the occupational forces. That's a little Korean boy that made him a parachute out of a handkerchief or something, and tied a little bag on the end. I threw it up, and of course it'd deploy and come down like that. He loved that. And that's one of ours that the enemy shot down a helicopter.
During from before. Is this from before?
No, this is during our war.
Okay,
this was during our war. The Americans have never fought here before.
Right.
When Japan surrendered, we got half of Korea, and the Russians got the upper half, above the 38th parallel.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. The 38th parallel, we should never have given them that because they didn't do anything, but
that was kind of part of
the Russians did help. The last tail end of the war, they sent troops somewhere, Manchuria, I think mostly, but I don't know why the U.S. gave them to North Korea, but they did.
Yeah.
I have Ernest in here in some of the
Ernest
pictures,
used to
but
deliver
I
our
just have to
mail.
look for him.
Yes.
is some of the
Yeah, that's
war.
what he did
Come
when he
in
got
and
back.
put it in the refrigerator.
This is me. We were shelling this area over
melt.
there. I was holding my helmet on. I was a medic.
Okay, I was about to ask you what
okay.
y'all's,
Well, Ernest was, he was assistant squad leader in 3rd platoon. The platoon is, let's see, 12, 24, 36 to 44 men. It's a
Okay.
platoon.
So about a dozen, or squads or.
He was a squad
Okay.
member, yes, a member of squad. I was transferred on board ship into the medics because we got a message from Far East Command desperately needing medics. They were getting killed.
Yeah, yes.
Desperately needing medics. And so the captain knew that I'd had 1 year pre-med.
Okay.
Now you can tell how much medicine that is.
Well, it's
Pre-med,
Yeah.
basic science and things like that. English and Spanish, not Spanish, but German and things like that, Pre-med, 4 years of college, then med school 4 years, then your internship and so forth.
Right.
Long process.
Yes.
Kind of like law.
Yes, sir.
Yes. About
Yeah.
4 years.
It's about 3 years and then the bar.
Okay. All right. All right. And the bar.
Uh-huh.
Okay. and you have a year to prepare for the bar?
You can take as little time or as much time as you want,
Okay.
but they only give it twice a year.
I
So
see.
it's usually
Okay.
6 months to a year.
Well,
Yes, sir.
I took the State Board of Medical Examiners, and come on, brain. Okay, I finished in 59, so I took it that summer.
Okay. Right.
59.
Okay.
And while I was intern at Lloyd Nolan Hospital in Birmingham.
Mhm.
Let's see now.
Now, was your father a doctor or?
No.
Okay, so you were the
This was our
first.
farm.
Mm-hmm.
All that you see around here was our farm, including the airport. It went from ridge to ridge. You know where the mountain is.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
You live on it.
I did. I live down here
And then
now.
you have
but
the
yes.
valley, which is the railroad valley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this ridge over here is Big Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are now on Middle Ridge.
Okay.
Between Big Ridge and Middle Ridge is Wills Valley.
Right.
Okay, between Middle Ridge and Shinbone Ridge, which is this one over here,
Mm-hmm.
is Wills Valley. I'll think of it in a minute, because the next one over is Dugout Valley.
Oh, okay.
I've
I've heard that.
Yeah, you've heard of Dugout Valley. Well, my brain's playing tricks
I
on me.
can't. I'm trying to think too.
Wills Valley, and this is Middle Ridge. I'll think of it in a minute. It'll come to me just like that.
What did y'all farm? I mean, did y'all have cattle or?
We had a few row crops. We had a lot of hay to do.
Okay.
We had a livestock and dairy farm.
Okay.
We milked 40 cows twice a day in the dairy. All of that's gone now,
Yeah.
including the old farmhouse and everything. My dad managed the farm from the late 40s after the war, and it did well.
Mm-hmm.
This farm produced real well, and it helped put me through college.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, after the first year, I had the GI Bill because I came back and started back.
I didn't know when they started that. That's good.
But let's see, Mr. Murdock and Ernest used to bottle grade A raw milk in our dairy.
Okay, so wow, I didn't realize that they got
Yes,
their milk
I knew
from,
Ernest a long time.
Gosh, yeah.
That was when, that would have been in the 30s, late 30s,
Hmm.
before we ever went to high school or Korea.
Was your father in World War II?
No,
Did he?
no,
Oh,
he
okay.
was not. He missed that.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe he
Let's
was
see.
around that age.
He had 3 children, and Sarah was born in 40. He had 3 children, and they put him in charge of 11 counties in eastern Alabama, including from DeKalb on down to, I forget how far down, but we lived in Anniston
Oh, okay.
on the eastern part of Alabama.
Right.
Lived in Anniston for 2 years, and then moved back up here in 44.
Oh,
44, just before the war ended in 45. And every night I'd listen to the radio, kept up with everything that's going on in Europe and Japan and so forth.
yes.
You know, Germany surrendered in early 45, then by then we had the bomb and dropped it on Hiroshima
Yes.
and Nagasaki.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been through both those places. And
Wow.
coming back on a troop train from Korea, we went by ship to from Korea to Sasebo, Japan, right on the southern tip. Then on a troop train up to Tokyo. You hear people say Tokyo and Hiroshima. Those are not right.
Right.
It's Hiroshima and Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yeah, Tokyo. 2 syllables. Tokyo.
Right.
And
Okay.
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima, yeah. And that's just a moot point, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I like to. Yeah, I'm interested in that kind of thing too.
Let's see now. Okay.
So they recruited you as a
I got some
medic.
pictures somewhere of Hiroshima. I could show you on the computer,
Oh
but
wow, yeah.
it was nothing. And now you should see what a beautiful city it is. When we came up through there on a troop train, we stopped in Hiroshima for an hour. And it was on a Jap train. We were rotating home. There was about 30 of us on this car. And the old conductor said in Japanese and broken English, "We stopped here 1 hour. You cannot get off train." I looked out. We were in Hiroshima. I got up and said, "Sir, we want to see ground zero." "No, you will get lost." About 10 of us pressured him, and finally he relented and said, "Okay, you be back 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes." We ran to ground zero, and I don't have a picture. I didn't have my camera.
Right.
Don't have a picture, but I've got one on the computer. I can show you what it looked like.
Yeah.
And then what it looks like now. You won't believe it.
Yeah.
And the Japs would come up to us and shake our hands and thank us for getting rid of the warlords. They hated them. They didn't like the Japanese military.
Oh, they were worse to them than they were anybody.
I'm the normal citizens,
Yes, sir.
And they thanked us for not letting the Chinese come in.
Yeah.
China and Japan had fought several times before,
Right.
historically.
Yes.
And you know where the term, let me think, kamikaze
Yes.
came from? Do you know?
I don't know its origin. I mean, I know what it means.
What does it mean?
The suicide bombers.
Divine wind.
Okay.
In
No,
Japanese.
I did not know that.
All right. Kublai Khan, grandfather of Genghis Khan. No, Genghis Khan was the grandfather, Manchurian, Mongolian. Yeah. Came to Japan with a huge fleet across the Yellow Sea and was going to, not the East Sea. The Yellow Sea is between Korea and Manchuria. Okay, the East Sea came across to conquer Japan. A typhoon, which we know as a hurricane, came up through there and destroyed the whole fleet and drowned hundreds of thousands of his soldiers. And Japan was saved. So they call that the divine wind.
And that's where,
Yeah.
wow.
That's what it means, divine
I
wind.
did not know.
The
That's awesome.
Kamikaze pilots of World War II were Japanese suicide pilots that would fly their plane loaded with bombs into the ships, and they'd get a great spot in heaven
Right.
because they had
And so
acted
they
as
kind
a
of turned
divine
them.
wind,
Okay. No, I had no idea.
to destroy our ship. That's what kamikaze means, divine wind.
Now, they recruited you as a medic on your way. Where did y'all, depart from?
Okay,
Here
all right.
and.
We were on board a troop ship, which is no longer in existence, but it was the Marine Phoenix. I've got a picture of it, and I'll show you in a minute. The Marine Phoenix, we had our whole battalion. We had H and S, A, B, and C company. Let's see, about 3, 6, 9, over 1,000 men on 151st Combat Engineers.
Okay.
We were trained in combat and engineering, such as blowing things up and building things if necessary. We built pontoon bridges across 2, 3, 4 rivers. In fact, built the pontoon bridge across the Han River. Hangang is the Han River. Hangang. And the infantry used it to go across to take the last time that Seoul was liberated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not many people around here know that.
Yeah.
We got a commendation from the general. Because
That's awesome.
his staff told him it'd take 3 days to bridge it. We did it in 12 hours. That's what you do when you're scared.
Yes, sir. You get a bridge
But
up and you do it
that was
quick.
the 4th bridge we had built within a week's time.
Oh, my
We built,
goodness.
let's see, Imjim River, Pukon River, Han River. It was the 3rd that we had built in a week's time, and we were well prepared for getting that one across because the enemy was still in Seoul.
Yes.
And
So that was the second time that Seoul was liberated, is when y'all did that bridge. That's what you said.
the what now?
That said, it was the second time that Seoul was liberated. That's the bridge that y'all. Because the first time was MacArthur, right?
Yes, yes. That was the second time.
Okay.
You know the history, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I know some.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, MacArthur had been fired by Truman because he wanted to use the bomb. You know that.
Yeah, and he got the Chinese
You
into
know,
it too.
Russia,
right?
that August before had just exploded a bomb. They had a bomb.
I did not know that.
And Russia was supporting the Chinese, and Truman was afraid that if we used the bomb, Russia would too,
Yeah.
and that would put all of us in jeopardy.
Yeah, then it's just.
I mean, in Korea, but they didn't know how well they could get one over here. You know,
Right.
you wait and see. We're going to have some terrorist attacks here before long.
Oh, yes,
I hope
sir.
not, but I think we are.
I know.
Okay, the history is really, really intricate because that's what engaged the whole war. We had help from, not much, we had help from the Australians and the British, and let's see, some even came over from, they were Muslims too, came over from what is I can't think. I will think in a minute where it was. They were a different
Different.
They would come over wanting to borrow. We had machetes which were used in jungle warfare to cut down brush and everything. No big slashing things.
Yes.
They'd bring them back razor sharp, and show us the ears they'd cut off people.
Yeah.
They'd
Yeah,
kill.
they were.
Yeah. Ooh, Ernest probably told you some of those things.
No, actually,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, the only thing that Pops, I'm sorry, that's what I call him, told us, really, that anybody can really remember is just how cold it was, and
I'll
that
show
y'all
you
would
some-
sleep,
I'll show you some pictures of that.
together for
All of us
Baltimore.
got a little bit of frostbite.
Yes.
My toes got it bad. The feeling, that was 51, basically, all of 51. and
So
part
y'all
of-
got there in 51.
Huh?
Did y'all get there in
We
51?
got there in January of 51.
Okay.
And I rotated home in February of 52.
Okay.
So I was there a little over a year. And all of us got some frostbite, including Ernest probably. But my feeling came back in my toes in 1960, 9 years later. Neural tissue heals very, very slowly.
Yes. But it
doesn't
does heal.
real quickly. It very slowly. And
And did Pops, was he there the same time you were there? I mean, the
Who?
same, Ernest, was he there the same amount of time?
well, I was getting to that.
Okay.
You know, I was the medic for C Company for, let's see, we got there in January, and about April, the captain, the battalion medical officer, sent for me to come in. He wanted to work with me some, see what I could do and how well I could do it, and this and that and the other. So I stayed there about 4 to 6 months, holding sick call and treating the wounded. That was the
okay.
first aid station from the front, you know.
Okay.
And they gave me an ambulance. I'll show you a picture of it in a minute. It was a World War II Dodge ambulance. No top. had a canvas top. And no windshield wipers, no gas gauge, no doors. And I'll show you a picture of it. It was I grew to love that thing. Because it got me out of a lot of trouble, a lot of times, you know.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, if you couldn't find the road, you'd go across where you thought there wasn't a minefield and get where you could get the wounded out and back to MASH. Incidentally, MASH means Mobile Army Surgical Hospital.
Okay.
and it's not what you saw
Oh.
on TV.
Yeah, I never even, I never
Those
watched that
guys were
show.
professional. If we could get the wounded there alive,
Uh-huh.
they had a 95% chance of survival.
Oh, wow.
95%. That's better than any war ever.
Yeah.
95%. Of course, we were close enough to Japan, and the very seriously wounded, they would do the stabilization
Mhm.
and fly them to Japan, the General Hospital.
Okay.
So they got really good treatment.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of them died, but if we get them there alive, they had 90% better chance of surviving. They may miss an arm or leg or eye or whatever.
Right.
One of the first injuries I had was a 50 caliber machine gun bullet through the right upper chest. Well, actually, it came from the back to the front.
Oh, okay.
I opened his jacket, and
Right.
lung had collapsed, and he's sucking air in and out through this hole. Put Vaseline gauze 4 now, pressure dressing around,
Mhm.
and that gave him enough to where he could ventilate through the left lung.
Ah.
Got him back to MASH. I just knew he's gonna die, you know. Next time I went down there, I checked on him. They said, "Oh yeah, we took out his right upper lobe and sent him to Japan. He's gonna be okay."
Oh, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Ooh. That's one of the first things I had to deal with.
Yeah.
And then after the time there at the battalion aid station, I went out several different places, you know, different companies, and different, well, they'd say, take some men and do this, that, and the other. They'd always want a medic to go with them.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they want the medic with them.
Uh-huh.
And so I'd go with them. And I went all over a lot of places there because I knew they had guys at the aid station that could take care of us, so I'd go with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I had friends that were important to me.
Right.
And I'll show you a picture. I'll tell you when it was. It's Christmas Eve of '51. Ernest and I were way up on the, we had a little over a squad of men, probably we had a whole platoon, had about 30 men.
Mhm.
Way up in North Korea. We were this road down there because there's no traffic on it, and military's worried about it. So we were guarding it, had all kinds of armament, machine guns and everything. And Ernest and I walked down and looked at the road. There's no enemy tank over there, but we knew better than to fool with it because it might be booby trapped.
Right.
It'd been burned out. But if you go to fooling around something like that, you may get blown up.
Mhm.
So we left it alone. We just looked in and had a couple of dead goose in there. So we didn't mess with anything. And that night, it turned cold, cold, cold. Next day was Christmas. We got up about first light, looked across, and the Chinese or North Koreans, I don't know which, had come in. They had almost a battalion dug in on the side of the mountain over there with the road right down here.
Mhm.
So we contacted headquarters, and they said withdraw. They didn't have to say that. They didn't have to say please either. So we just got up. They knew it was our Christmas, and we knew it was Christmas. So we didn't wave at each other or give them a sign or anything, you know.
Uh-huh.
We just withdrew silently, and they didn't wave at us or anything. They just looked. But they didn't shoot, and we didn't shoot either. They let us get out. I thought that was nice.
Yes.
I'll
Yeah.
show you a picture of that too. Before they dug in that night.
Okay, so they
We
were
didn't
digging
hear
in.
a thing. We
Oh, well,
didn't hear
yeah, I
a
was
thing.
fixing
And
to
that
say.
got up Christmas Day, and when we got back to our unit, Ernest and I got down in a foxhole and did this like we trying to get through the snow. It looked like we're in the snow up to our nipples. We were not. We were in a foxhole.
Now, I'm trying to remember when was it that the Chinese had started to had came across the
Okay.
line? I can't remember
All right.
the name of
All right,
that.
we had taken.
Bhutan.
This is we had taken just about all of Korea. We crossed the 38th parallel, went on up to, let's see, Chorwan and Pyongyang. That was the North Korean capital, Pyongyang.
Okay.
And I've been to Chorwan, which is just below Pyongyang. And then the Chinese communists came in, and we all had to withdraw because there were, it seemed like billions of them.
Right.
I mean, they just overran everything.
Yes.
And the guys had to hurry and get out. They had to hurry and get out.
Yeah.
The Americans lost a lot of men in that.
Yes.
And that was just before we got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in, let's see, it started in 50. That was Christmas of 50.
It was right. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was talking
Yeah.
about Christmas of 51 when I told about.
Right. Okay.
that
That's
deal
what
in
I was
North
trying
Korea.
to figure out.
But
If
that
they
was
had-
up, we were going on up close to Chorwan again. Because
Right.
I rotated home from Chorwan.
Okay.
And I came home in March. Yeah, Mary Nell and I married February. I got home in February. We married 23rd February, 23 February of 52. Yeah, I rotated home, got home. I thought we'd get married the next day, but those girls had planned a wedding, you know, with bridesmaids and all kinds of things.
Had to wait on all
Had
that.
to wait a week or 10 days from the wedding.
Hey, they did pretty good to do it in that time then,
Pardon?
too. I said they did pretty good to do it in 10, that you only had to wait
Well,
about
we
10
had planned to
days.
get married, but I just didn't know when I'd get home. See.
Right, right,
They promised us we'd just have to stay a year, but I was there a little over a year.
right.
Let's see, we got there in January, this was February. I've been there 13 months
Okay.
when we rotated home. 23 February 1952.
So we had already
That'd
reground.
be 60, how many years? 63 years. This is
Wow.
15, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Be 63 years.
Wow.
Whew.
It doesn't feel like that long. It never does.
Okay, let's see, this is some combat. That's me looking, we was throwing some artillery over there against the enemy.
Oh, okay.
And, well, all of that is combat pictures. There we're going through an area.
Oh, wow. It says 85 shopping days till Christmas.
How about that? Some jerk put the 85 shopping days till Christmas. That would have been what, oh, there it is, there it is, there it is.
Oh, I see.
That's myself and Ernest. I didn't know it. Let's see, is that my, yeah, that's my ambulance. I got a better picture of it than that. Yeah, this
Oh,
is Christmas
wow.
Day. That's Christmas Day.
Oh gosh, he looks so
were
so
kids.
much like Dad there.
Huh?
He looks like my dad more in that picture than any
Oh,
other
yeah,
picture I've
yeah.
ever seen.
What did I do with my,
That's what I was looking for.
you got
There,
it?
it's right here.
Now this is Bobby Mashburn over here.
Okay.
Ernest is there.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's Ernest and that's Bobby Mashburn. I took the picture.
Okay.
You see, it wasn't all that deep. It
Yeah.
wasn't that deep. That's me next to my ambulance, I'm sure. Wait a minute. Yeah, that'd have to be me.
Not sure. Uh
Staff Sergeant?
huh.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
From-
that would be me. And let's see. What is that? Is that an animal of some sort?
You know, I was trying to fit. You know, it looks like it almost got like a double exposure or something. It's like two different. I think that's a child.
Is it now?
Mhm.
Okay.
But you can tell it. it looks like one
This
picture
was,
over
this
another.
was in the summer, 'cause you see this tent rolled up. That's the old frame of what we put the tent over.
Okay.
This is looking out on some of the part of the Han River. That's just the eddy currents back through there. Now here's our company C.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let's see. That's not Ernest.
It says Jessler's.
Jester's Plowboys.
Uh-huh.
That's, I think, Jester. Captain Jester was.
Oh, okay.
Now this is a couple of medics, and they're just goofing off. They're just acting funny, silly. Now then, here we go. This is Pacu Ben, little Korean boy. Said he's 15. I think he was 13.
Mm-hmm.
But he could speak enough English to where he taught me a lot of Korean, and I taught him a lot of what I learned as a medic, you know.
Wow.
And I named the truck, you see that?
Miscarriage.
Miscarriage.
Yeah. I like that.
All these boys are gone.
Mm.
All those are gone. I'm the only survivor. That's Haley McElroy. And I forget names. That's, I'll think of it after a while.
Who is this your, who is this? Do you remember?
That boy was the dental assistant. We actually had a little dental chair at battalion where a dentist could, we didn't have a regular dentist, but every now and then one would come by and he'd do some extractions or whatever was necessary. He couldn't do fillings, and while I was there at battalion, I had this boy clean my teeth just before I rotated home.
Right.
Yeah, this is when we first got over there. That's the only apple I ever had in Korea.
Oh my goodness.
All those guys are gone. That's Pacu Ben. Yeah,
Pacu Ben.
Pacu Ben. And this is, I can't remember those guys' names. But that looks like a little Korean boy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does to me
I
too.
believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is.
What is this?
That's the generator
Okay.
that the Chinese had left, or somebody had left. It had been burned, and we found, that's the Han River over there.
Oh, okay.
I said, a fellow named Brock. I said, Brock, let's fix that up and we'll have us some lights. He said, all right, let's see. So he'd get on the crank and turn it over, and I'd hold a spark plug wire. Ooh, it shot me. That's number one cylinder, fired just then. We went through and found the firing order. We repaired the wiring and put some gasoline in that thing and cranked it, and it ran.
Man.
And generated electricity.
My goodness.
And so we put
I'm still working on this.
one little bulb.
Too strong.
No, it tastes really good. I was just letting it cool off. Oh,
I think that's me in the summer. Yeah.
oh right there.
Yes.
Yes, I think it, yeah. And is that the same little boy? That's you and some little Korean boy.
No, I believe that's John. No, that is me, isn't it? That's me. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's the little Korean boy. That's not Pat.
He looks young.
Every now and then we'd have someone that'd been hurt or wounded, and we'd treat them. You
okay.
know, we weren't supposed to, but we did. We were kind.
Yes. Well, yeah.
This is I believe that's John Tumanello, a boy from Huntsville. It is. And that's me.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't the best of housekeepers.
Well,
But we were
yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
We washed ourselves
there's only
regularly.
so much you can do.
Let's see, we've looked those, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yes,
did
sir. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. A lot of times I didn't have a camera, but Oh, these are landmines we had taken up.
Oh,
And
okay.
I forget his name, was acting like he's gonna chop on one. He knew better than that. Oh, that looks like lines. That is Howard lines.
That says
And
home. Is this y'all's?
that's home, yeah.
Mhm.
That was in the early spring then because it got the sides down.
Okay.
We were there about a month, I guess. I can't remember how long we were there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story. While we were there, battalion sent us a dentist. Now, we had been there for months without a dentist. Well, we didn't need a dentist.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had toothache or anything. So, Captain said, Isbell, take your ambulance and go down to Seoul and get the dentist. I said, the dentist? Captain Hahn, we don't need a dentist. No, Hahn was the dentist. Captain, you don't need a dentist. We're up here. He said, Isbell, go get the dentist. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Captain. Yes, sir. I will do that. Got down there, and this fella is from upstate New York. He's about that tall, and he was scared to death. He had on every stitch of clothing. Now, this was in the winter before the real bright summer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He was scared to death. We got up to, there's a unit called Nathan Hale. We can track incoming mail. It was a radar unit. And when the enemy would shoot, they could track the track of the shells, mortar or artillery, and then tell our artillery the track of it. They could extrapolate and find
Where it was coming.
where they were coming from. See,
Huh.
the Chinks in North Korea didn't know that.
Oh. Mm-mm.
They didn't know how we could knock them out so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So we got up to Nathan Hale, and the road had been closed. So I asked the fellas there, do you know some way I can get around? Because the Chinese had come down and closed the road, knocking out a few trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And they were cleaning up that area, but I had to get this doctor back to his, because he was just like this by then, you know.
Yeah.
It was cold as crowd. It was 20 below zero probably. Had on all of our clothes. And he was up in front. I'll show you my helmets in a minute. No doors and all that. No. Pack was in the back. So after talking to Nathan Hale, that unit, I said, sir, you get back in the back. It'll be warmer there maybe. It would be out of the wind. He said, I'll stay up here just a minute, Sergeant. So we go up. They told me how to get to a certain place. But the Chinks were over there, and they saw us going, and they started dropping mortars. You know, drop mortar in, doom, and it shoots over there. You know what a mortar is?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Mm-hmm.
All right, I heard doom, 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 doom. About 4 of them dropped in over there. Probably several hundred yards away across the ridge there, you know,
Uh-huh.
or maybe the top of the ridge over there. Boom, 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 boom. They're trying to kill us. That man just went all to pieces and all to pieces. I would slow down real slow and then not give him a chance to zero in on me.
Right.
No, just erratic driving like that. And finally, when I got out of the range, I stopped and said, sir, you got to get back there. By then, he didn't question it because he was just about gone. And Pat got up with me, and we got on over to where our unit was. And I think he never did like me after that. He thought I probably went that way to scare him. I
Yeah.
never talked to him about it because he was absolutely scared to death.
Just terrifying,
He
yeah.
afraid he's gonna die just any minute. He expected to die. He just knew he's gonna die. Let's see. That's to Manila, I believe. Talking to a couple of little urchins there,
Aw.
and I believe that's me. It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See what's on the back of that one. Hands up. Oh, somebody made him a little pistol. Now, I can't remember this boy's name, but I made friends with him. This was almost winter. Well, it was winter. I had a couple of pounds of TNT in my pocket there because I had trained in demolitions. Captain one time asked me, said, "Isbell, do you have dynamite?" And no, sir, I wouldn't fool with dynamite. That's too dangerous. I have a couple of pounds of TNT that he nearly had a fit. He just said, "Get out of my tent, get out, get away, take that out, get rid of him. He didn't know
Didn't know.
I trained as combat engineer and I could use that stuff.
Right, you knew what you was doing with it.
I did use it when I was with C Company, but it scared him to death. He thought it'd blow up any minute, you know.
Right.
And he got rid of me and he talked to me. There's a burp gun. Took from Chinese.
It's a burp gun.
Yeah, it went burp.
Oh, okay.
Sounded like somebody going burp, burp.
I see.
Took it from some Chinese prisoners.
Yeah.
9mm.
Okay.
We turned it over to Arsenal. Let's see, this is, oh, that's me. Oh, here we are. There's my ambulance. That's from the rear of it. And there's Captain Conran down there, too.
That was your
We
captain.
were rounding up stragglers, wounded stragglers, enemy. That same place. That's Bobby Mashburn with that was Christmas. You saw his picture with Ernest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's where we're rotating home.
Oh, okay.
Sasebo Replacement Depot.
Uh-huh.
You say Sasebo?
I think so. Yes, Sasebo.
Southern tip of Japan.
Okay.
Let's see, we're still back in Korea here. Now this is summer. Yeah, those are medics. Tumanella, I forget that boy's name. And I forget his name now. All those guys are dead. No, Tumanella's still living. He's a year older than me. He lives in Huntsville. That boy he wasn't any good. He got there, he wouldn't do anything. He'd get lost and all kinds of things, you know.
More of a liability than a help.
He was, and Captain turned him into battalion, said we can't use him.
Mm.
That's that boy got a beer in his hand.
Yes, yeah.
That's Leroy McAbee. He's a
Okay.
super rich man. When we got back, Leroy went to college at Alabama, took engineering, building construction. And when he finished, he set up a little place in North Tuscaloosa, McAbee Construction.
Okay.
Now he has a huge jet plane that he uses to go to building sites and so forth. And his wife died from diabetes last year.
Oh.
And every year he comes up and calls me, let's go see some such and such.
You know, I think I've
He
heard that
doesn't drink
name.
now. I don't drink now either.
yeah.
Every now and then, very rarely. See, we had no refrigeration. This is summertime.
Right.
What he's sipping on is a hot beer.
hot
and they
beer.
don't it's good at all. This is when we first got over there. This is not in chronological order, when we first got over there.
Oh, okay.
And this was in the summertime thereafter. That looked like a little Korean, is it?
Yeah, looks like that to me too. Yes. Now, what did Ernest? What was he like trained in, or
Okay.
you know, he was mainly.
He was in 3rd Platoon.
Uh-huh.
He was assistant squad leader.
That's okay.
Yeah. And he had a good bit of responsibility. He had just about anything that they asked him to do, he was capable of doing it. That's not, oh, those are some Mary Nell's pictures, high school type things, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a high school picture. That's probably our senior year.
Your graduation day.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, that's my class. I'm probably up there on the top row next to Max Bailey somewhere. That's a real tall guy. That may be me or Max.
Let's see.
We're probably on the top anyway. This is some of Mary Nell's old pictures here. These are not Korea pictures. But you get sort of an idea of what it was like
yes,
then.
sir.
So
Yeah. Yes.
it was a real experience, I tell you. It made you appreciate the U.S.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, sir. I think that's probably a lot of people's, I don't know. We just don't have the same.
I've got
Grit
another
now.
picture, I'll give it to you, of Ernest and myself if I can find it.
Well, you know what? If it's okay with you, I think I'll try to
Pardon?
take some. I think I'll try to take some pictures of some of these pictures with my phone and see if it will take it good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if it
wait a
will
minute,
or not.
I've got some, I had them enlarged and so forth.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
see if I can find them.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't know how that got mixed in here. You know, I'm a pilot.
No, I did not know
Yes,
that.
yes.
Okay.
I have had to quit flying because of my vision.
Yeah.
And and then I did flight physicals on aviators for 20-something years.
Okay.
Certified them to fly. You know, you don't just get in a plane like you do a car.
Right. Yeah.
And certainly take passengers. You have to be certified and checked every year by a flight instructor. It's a biennial examination every 2 years.
Oh,
You have to
okay.
be recertified. But to begin with, you're certified as a student. Then when you complete training, you get a private license. This is something I took from my plane,
Oh, okay.
from another plane that was going around with me.
Yeah.
That just got mixed in with that, didn't it?
Huh.
Now here's some. There. You've seen this one.
Wow. Yes.
I had these blown up a little, see? There you go, there you go. You can have this one.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Because I
I'm
can
sure.
make a copy of it
No,
too and get it back
that is
to
a copy. I've got,
Oh.
and here we are up
Yeah.
at the dam that, let's see.
Oh yeah, that's a
this
good
guy.
picture.
All these fellows are dead. That's our 50 caliber machine gun.
Wow.
I had to go, every time they had 3 or 4 going somewhere, they're going as security because had welders up there welding the gates. We had bridges downriver, and if the enemy, you knew they were on their way down here, if they opened those gates, they'd wash all our bridges out, see? So we're doing that, and the enemy started to cross on boats up there, and stick pipes. Billy Dennis, and I can't tell who that is. That's Don. All these boys are gone. Anyway, he opened fire with that. Had a couple of Marines over here that had a recoilless rifle. But that was it. We were the guard.
that was, yeah.
I was there as a medic. And this was ineffective at that distance, you know. They were about 2 miles up the river.
Right.
But coming across to get us. and those Marines were firing, and I said, boys, you're short. Bore sight that thing. You know what bore sight is? Look through the bore and see where the boats are and go up or down with it because they were falling short. And they said, Reb, you show us how to do that. They don't teach us that. Call me rebel. They could tell by my accent that I wasn't from the north.
Ah, okay, yeah.
I said, all right, I opened the breech and found the boats across there, and I could see they were too low. So I raised it up about that much, but it made all about 300 yards difference out where the shell
Wow.
hit. And closed the breech and said, now try that. They fired it, and it hit that lead boat, and it just went all to pieces. He said, Reb, do that again. Do that again. He said, no, you got to learn it. You got to learn it. You look through there. Because they looked, and about that time, those boats all turned around and went back to shore. So
They're like, wait,
we got them out of the way.
Wow.
Yeah, you take that. This is
That's awesome.
these are some medics right here. That's me. There's my ambulance.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'll show you a better
Yes, yeah.
picture of it in a minute. That you've seen that one. Here we go. Here we go.
Ah,
Now,
okay.
see, no doors. No.
Uh-huh.
You see a windshield wiper up there?
Nope.
No.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
It had one, but it had a little handle in there. You had to do it from the inside like that.
Well, it looks like it wouldn't wipe it that much of it
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, that's, but I could put 1, 2,
Wow.
3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 in there on stretchers,
Uh-huh.
slung from the ceiling.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That was summer, obviously.
Korean, 1951.
Age
Wow.
19. Here's Captain Condon, bless his heart. See a cigarette. How much
Uh-huh.
you smoke?
I smoke about a half pack a day.
Half pack?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You didn't know I could tell, did you?
Yeah. Oh, well, I
Well,
figured you knew
well,
since
I
I'm a
did for
Murdock
years
too.
and years and
yeah.
years and years.
Yeah.
But I quit in 69 and
Okay.
smoked since. Now, here's one that I did not know was taken.
Mhm.
It was with one of the infantry divisions.
Mhm.
And there's a tank. This is me over there. You see the ABD pad in my hand?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's a sponge-like pad. This boy had his abdominal wall just shattered. I mean, his guts and liver and everything just protruding out.
Mm.
Started an IV on him and trying to get an ambulance or a helicopter in to take him to MASH, but he didn't make it. He died.
Mm.
This is the tank lieutenant standing there in my way. I got over there and said, sir, can I get to my patient? Yeah, come on, doc. They call me doc. 19. They call me doctor.
Well.
This is the chaplain that showed up. I don't know where he was, but he was with the line company there. Showed
Oh,
up and he's
wow.
praying over this boy.
Oh.
And that's another fellow that was helping with. These two we got back to MASH, but that boy didn't make it. He died. I had him enlarged. Said I found that online.
Oh, wow. Where'd you
Yeah.
where did you find it online? I mean, somebody sent it.
It was something about the devastation in Korea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I could send it to you if you'll give me your email address.
Yes, yeah. In fact,
The
I've
spam
got.
blocker may catch me.
I don't have to. If I've got a
You know
spam
how to
blocker,
get by the
it's not-
spam blocker, huh?
Yes, sir. There's my phone number, and I know it's it's not easy to
got your
read
email
anyway.
address on there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, it's down there at the bottom.
What is it?
It's just Jess Murdock Whitmore, all one word, at Gmail.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right. Okay, let's see now. I'm somewhere in here. This was when we left. This was
Oh.
when we left to go. What does it say?
1950, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That's when just before we left to
Company
go
C.
to Korea.
Wow.
I'm somewhere right in the middle of there.
Yep, there you are.
Okay, and Ernest I don't think this is, does this seem to be alphabetized?
You know, it does not.
Okay. Well, Ernest is in there somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that him?
Mm-mm.
No. No, I don't think. But we're all dressed alike.
Right. Yeah.
Well, this
it's
was
kinda-
the summer before we left. We came there in the
There
summer.
he is.
Huh?
He's not that far from where you are. You're right there. He's right there.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Same row.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. There's some others here that you might like. That's Captain Conran. That's the picture that I had. I had
Oh,
it
that you
enlarged.
had blew up.
Yeah, I had it
Okay.
enlarged. That's the same picture. Isn't
What was his last name? Connor? Captain Connor?
Condron, C-O-N-D-R-O-N. He is
Oh.
from originally up Pennsylvania. When he got back, he went with the Veterans Administration Hospital in Korea, in Kentucky.
Oh,
Why did I say Korea? Let's see. There's one you saw.
oh yes.
And these you have seen. I had some of them enlarged.
Yes. So is that how it would have been originally? That's when you went to go, had the pictures
Oh,
developed,
yeah.
they were that small?
Yeah, I took
Okay.
this and had it enlarged.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with a Marine company there. That's
Ah.
another medic. I'm sitting on a box of 30 caliber ammunition, and I've got my machine gun back there. Medics weren't
Yes.
supposed to have firearms, you know.
Well, I was wondering, I couldn't remember if they
No,
weren't
no, we weren't
supposed to, or
supposed
if
to.
they just
But
didn't.
see,
That's crazy.
the Koreans and the Chinese did not go by the rules, so we didn't either.
Yeah.
I had a machine gun.
Yes.
Yeah, some of these I had enlarged.
No,
That's the one.
that's the picture.
That's the one, yeah. I had it enlarged in that larger one.
Wow.
There's one. You seen that? That's the original. That's the original. I
Yeah.
had it enlarged. I gave you that, didn't I?
Yes, sir. Can I see the back of it? What's it?
Surely. Yeah, there's a miscarriage there.
Yeah, this says it was minus 40 degrees.
What?
This says it was minus 40 degrees
Where-
that day
Which one is
on-
that? Oh,
on
yeah.
Christmas.
Oh, it turned off cold.
Mm.
It turned off really bad cold.
And it's Chorwan.
Chorwan, that's
is that how you
just
say
below
it?
Pyongyang, the northern capital. Chorwan.
Okay.
There's the one that's sitting on the ammunition. You've seen that one. I had it enlarged a bit. There's the one up on the dam. These are the original there.
Do you know where this dam was? What river was that crossing?
The Pucon River.
The Pucon. Okay.
Pucon, yeah, it runs into the Han. There's my baby. I've got to where I love that thing.
It says Dodge.
Dodge ambulance. What did
okay.
they put on there?
Dodge.
August,
Oh,
August of,
age 19. I
oh,
think.
age
Yeah.
19. Oh, that's just before I left. Just before I left for Korea.
Oh.
And that was my squad. I believe I'm down there. That's me, isn't it?
I think so, as well as I can tell. It's
Let
a
me
little
think now.
blurry.
Let me think. This boy's still living. These boys were not all killed in Korea, but let me think. Yeah, that's me. That's squad in there. Yeah. That's Ringer. That one and that one and that one and that one. He died of lung cancer later. That was our squad leader.
So what would a squad leader, I mean,
A
they,
squad, in a
What would they
platoon, you had 4 squads, 3 or 4 squads. A squad leader was generally a sergeant, that had 10 to 12 men. Okay, 12, 24, 48 in a platoon, 48 to 60, somewhere like that. You want that warm? I can put it in the
No.
microwave.
I like it kind of cooled off. That's why I'm
Tepid, isn't it?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that was,
So would they just kind of, I mean, what did they do with the men? Did they plan, or, I don't know, their missions, or would they
well,
just kind of do
they
any
came up
and
with
everything?
a plan, yeah.
Okay.
The officers sent down a plan for doing this and that and the other. For instance, this squad may have gone up to provide guards for equipment to come through, you see.
Okay.
Armed guards to keep the enemy away from it. Or we may be putting together part of a pontoon bridge. Pontoon and pontoon's the same thing. You know?
Oh, okay.
Pontoon bridge. You don't want to see that. That's a dead goat. Oh, there's some little orphans. That was terrible. That's let me think. Yeah, that's the boy from Huntsville. He was a medic. He's gone.
Did he die in Korea, or?
Pardon?
Oh, okay.
He came back.
Okay.
His family had a, oh gracious, this is, I believe that's me and Mary Nell and some girl, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's not, that's after we were married. That's a different, it just got mixed in there. I don't know what that is either.
I think that's you and me now.
Oh, that's here. That's after we were married. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's just a conglomerate of some different things. Oh, this is the only colored picture I ever saw from Korea. One of my friends gave that to me. He had some colored film. I had never seen colored film. Just got an odd tint to it, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you can tell it's early, but they're good pictures.
I don't know what this is. Oh, this is one of our things we loaned the British. It's quad 50s, 450 caliber machine guns. You talk about firepower. This was either a British or Australian guy, if you can find him on here. Is that him? Okay. And we came up on him, and he had the enemies right over there. Every now and then he'd keep him down, you know.
Yeah. Gosh.
That is another, that boy's dead, but he didn't die there. He died of some medical problem. Ringer had a roll of film, colored film. That's interesting.
38th parallel.
The war began here.
Courtesy 1st Cavalry Division.
Yeah, they put their name on everything over there.
Of course they did.
He didn't have a horse within 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're shooting a mortar. Some of these are small. You see why I had some on them larger.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, there's the Alabama Bridge. B Company spent months building this Bailey Bridge across this gorge. It's still there.
Wow.
It is still there.
Wow.
And
My
there's a smaller
goodness.
one down here, you see.
Yes,
That's
okay.
called the Alabama Bridge. There's a sign up here somewhere that said Alabama Bridge.
I think I kind of see a sign, but you can't really,
okay.
yeah.
There we are scooting through, doing something.
Where was the Alabama Bridge? I mean, what's that area called? You
Well,
remember?
There was a small stream down here, but the topography is such that there was a deep gorge through there where a lot of water had once run.
Okay.
And tanks or anything else couldn't get across it without having to go 30 miles out of the way to get around it. So the B Company spent months putting that in over there for the
Yeah.
Koreans and for our military. Some of these, look how those are faded. You saw that one, didn't you?
Yes, sir. That's from when you were
I
going
think
home.
most of these others you've seen too. Yeah, you've seen that one, with medics on the ambulance. I love that old thing. It was a good vehicle.
Yeah.
You've seen those. Oh, here's our ship. That's the USNS Marine Phoenix. We had,
Wow.
I don't know how many thousand. We had the 151st Combat Engineers plus another group. I don't know how many thousand men were on that.
Wow.
There it is.
Where did y'all leave out from?
Seattle, Washington. That's the Strait of Juan de Fuca. We're going out between Seattle and the other shore over this way.
Yeah.
You want that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's the one we left on. I don't know
Wow.
where this is. That's more
It looks like it's at the VFW hall.
It is.
I think it
It
is.
is.
Mhm.
It's at the VFW. There's some refugees running to get away from the enemy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well,
I guess that's me. Yeah, that's me.
yeah.
Slouchy looking thing there. Wasn't it?
You got dynamite in your pocket too. Or something.
One of these days I'm going to get together and get all these things filed up and where I don't have to. Let's see. That's interesting. I don't know what that
Yeah.
is. You see an ambulance there?
I see snow and
Now
I
look
don't know.
there. That's my sweetheart.
oh.
I believe. Yeah, that's
Yes,
her.
yeah.
And her cousin.
That's her cut. Okay.
What does it say there? Somebody's written on it.
This was also taken the Sunday before I left.
Mhm.
It says, how come your skirt and blouse was twisted? So.
What? Did I,
Yeah, you
what
did.
did I say? What did I say?
It says, how come your skirt and blouse was twisted so?
Well, I was
That's
trying.
funny.
I was trying.
That's right. What is this? Do you know what that building is? What that structure?
Oh, no, it's got light on it or something. There.
Oh, I see it is. It's like a double exposure or something.
It's just a Korean farmhouse.
Okay.
All these things. There's a little booklet that they gave the occupational forces back right after World War.
Is that the dam?
Yes, that's the dam that
Okay.
we were welding the gates where they wouldn't open it up.
I got you. Okay. They give this to the occupational forces?
Occupational Forces World War II in '45. They gave that to the. We sent some occupational forces over there because the Japanese had been there for 100 years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, so it gives you just kind of an overview of the geography, the history, religion, customs.
Yeah,
That's
just
neat.
something to educate the GIs about
Right.
what it was. A few Hana, Tu, Set, Net, Tasit, Yasit, Idagut. I can't remember the last one. You. That's 10. It's in there somewhere.
Yes.
Hana, Tu, Set, Net, Tasit, Yasit, Idagut.
Uh-huh.
What else?
Aha. Yule. Aha.
Yule is 10.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Wow.
remember 9.
Ahop, or is that how you say it? Ahop. Ahop.
It's been a long time. I can't remember how that. Nyet, nyet is no. Nyet.
Oh, okay.
There's some phrases in there.
That was always my problem with any foreign language. I could read it, I could translate it.
I love
Can't
you
speak
in Korean was Nanan Tangchina Sarang Hamnida. I wrote that for Mary Nell, and
Oh.
she thought that was so sweet. But she couldn't say it either.
Well, let me ask you something.
What?
I mean, why do you think that Ernest never told us anything about it? I mean, is there a particular reason, or?
The what now?
I said, why do you think he never wanted to talk about it, or like my dad had sat down with him at one point and tried to.
We saw a lot that you don't see here.
Sure.
We saw a lot of death and destruction and everything that I would not take pictures of it.
Sure.
And he didn't want to either.
Yeah. Yes. I guess he just. I mean, he never would even tell us as much as you've just told me at all. You know, where he was, or you know, pretty much anything except that it was cold and they built the bridge. And that's, and I don't know, he wouldn't.
I can understand.
Yes. Yeah. I
But I don't think about it.
Well, I guess that's why he maybe never told us much, you know.
Yeah.
He didn't want to think about it.
understand.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense to me.
We were kids.
Yes. You're asking to do things. Yeah.
If we had sense, we would have been there.
Right, exactly.
But we didn't have any say to it.
I watched.
We did a good job.
Yes.
We did.
That's incredible. I can't believe they built a bridge. Y'all built a bridge in 12 hours. I mean, I watched a thing on the Medal of Honor, and they were, you know.
What now?
I watched a documentary on the Medal of Honor, and they were doing some interviews with some of the guys throughout. I mean, this was Medal of Honor.
What was this now?
It's a documentary.
A documentary?
On the Medal of Honor.
Okay.
And some of those guys were saying.
Which war?
It was stuff from just every war.
Any war?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's what they were saying. They said, you know, we weren't trying to be brave.
No.
If we'd known what we was doing at the time.
You just had a job to do and we did it.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got a little time on a machine gun, and Ernest did too, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Showed the guys how to use a recoilless rifle.
Now, what is that? What is a recoilless rifle?
It shot a round about that big, about that long.
Mm-hmm.
And when it blew up, it's about like a bomb.
Okay.
And recoilless means, you know, if you shoot a gun, you generally have to do that. You
Right.
shot shotguns and so
Yes,
forth?
sir. Yeah.
Okay. This had a fenestration in the back where when the shell exploded, the cartridge is about this long and the projectile about that long, so it's about that long. And the back of it had fenestrations, holes in it. And so did the back of the butt of the rifle.
Oh.
So when it went, it's like a balloon.
Right.
You let a balloon go.
Uh-huh.
See?
So it just.
Jet propulsion.
Oh,
What
okay.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, recoilless. Oh, it may have jumped a little, but it didn't knock you down. I mean,
Not the way it
75
would
millimeter,
have,
generally
yeah.
That's on wheels, you know.
Yeah.
This was on just a little tripod like this.
Right.
And what recoil it had was very little,
Mm-hmm.
about like that. Stayed on target better.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
They didn't have any of those. The Chinese and North Koreans didn't.
What did they generally fight with? I mean, what was their.
Rifles
No, just.
Rifles.
Okay.
and mortars. They had
Mortar
mortars now. They could. They got pretty good with mortars.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a mortar is?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So sort of like a stovepipe. You put it down against the ground and drop a round in there. When it hits it,
Mm-hmm.
It,
It
it
just,
excites the cap, which blows the powder, which lets the shell go out, and it's like throwing a ball, and letting it go down.
right, it would just, yeah. So you adjusted the pipe
Yes,
to,
yes,
right.
absolutely.
I got you. Yeah, in World War II, didn't they call them stovepipe boys? Or
And what now?
they called some of the mortar guys stovepipe boys.
Yeah. Stovepipe boys.
Yeah.
They were really effective. They got to where they learned how to do that real well.
Now, I don't, I could ask that. I just can't remember. Was Ernest, was he married to Jean when he went to
Is he
Korea?
what now?
Was he married to Jean?
Let me think.
I'm trying to remember.
Yes. Uh,
I think they got married now that I'm maybe
got
right
married
before he
after
left.
high school.
Yeah.
Jean was a year older than Ernest, wasn't she?
Yes.
Okay. Jean had finished, or was not in school anyway, when they started dating. And Ernest said, I didn't go to his wedding, but I know they were married in Jean's house.
Mm-hmm.
They're on 35 Highway, like going to the old high school.
Oh, okay.
And I went to his wedding. I was there.
I have a picture of their, a wedding picture
Okay.
of just them,
Well, he said, no, you didn't go to my wedding. We didn't have any, but I did. Somehow or other I got there.
Let me tell
I
you.
saw them get married.
Yes, Paul.
And let's see, I was usher. Ernest and I were ushers when his sister married Dee Gilbreth.
Oh, really?
Yes. Ernest and I
Okay.
were the two ushers. He was in the Baptist church, and Ernest was to be an usher, and he's, come on, you got to help me. I can't do it by myself. I said, what do you mean you can't? Just don't ask any questions. Just get dressed. And so we got him married. You know David.
Oh, yes, sir.
His son,
Yes.
David
Mhm.
Gilbreth.
I can remember really Dee better than I do David.
Who?
I remember Dee better than
Do
I
you
do
now?
David
Okay.
from when I was a kid.
Yes.
We would go over there and see them.
Yes,
So,
okay.
In fact, Dee's birthday is the same as mine. We have the same birthday. I didn't
Same
know
birthday.
that.
Let's see, Dee's not living.
No, sir. And David passed away not that long ago.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Dad did his
Now,
funeral.
let's see. There's a son named David.
Yes, sir. He
Yes.
does the Boy Scout.
Yes.
Up in
He does a
Minton.
lot of Boy Scout work.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
He really
Real nice
is. Yeah, that's
Got a 31 model Chevrolet.
He does.
Yes. You've seen
I
it?
didn't know that.
Yes, I
No.
was born in 31. And he
Okay.
has a 31 Chevrolet. That is, by the time they get through with it, he's had it for years and years and years. But the boys out here on the mountain have been working on it. Wilbur Coward, been working on it and got the engine to running real well and everything.
Yeah, I really hope that. I mean, like I said, I have a little boy who's 5, and by the time he gets into Boy Scouts, I
How many
won't.
children you have?
I just have one.
One?
Mhm,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what does your husband do?
He is a CNC machinist.
A what?
A CNC machinist.
CNC, what does that stand for?
That's a good question. It's
I have
computer
heard that
something.
name before.
It's like he programs the machines that cut the metal at the gas house.
All right. Okay. CNC
I can't remember what it stands for.
cuts metal.
Mm-hmm.
And it cuts with laser.
Yes, or the
Whatever he wants it to cut.
it's like water jet almost, or it looks like that. But
Laser
yes, it's
stands
basically
for
like a
light
laser.
Activation for simulated emission of radiation. Laser. I used
Don't know
laser
that.
inside the abdomen to do surgery after they approved it for that.
Right, wow.
Yeah, I used a lot of laser.
Huh.
That's so neat because it cuts and coagulates at the same time, you know.
Right,
And
Yeah.
I mean, with metal, it'll cut the nicest. You don't have a lot of rolled up, ash and everything.
Right.
It's just
just
absolute,
smooth edge.
absolute gone. The little seam is just gone, and it's so discreet. You know, there's no rough edges or anything on it.
And I know that they do, like Alex does he does the design in the programs that then,
Puts it all in with the keyboard, probably,
right,
and
yes.
then pushes go.
Yes, and he has a big,
Yes.
basically where he works
I've
on,
been to the plant up here.
yes, that's where
Metal
he works.
Solution.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
where he works?
That's where he works. Yeah, I just still
Really?
call it the gas house, but they were bought,
Gas
right?
hat, GH Metal Solution.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, the boy that's the controller there that does the figure cruncher, is my Sunday school teacher.
So you still go to First Baptist? Is that
Yeah.
where? Oh, okay. All right.
Did your phone?
Yeah, I did. It just
Get your
beeped at
message.
me.